Ciao ragazzi! We are going to make a very naughty pizza today. This pizza is something quite special. We are going to make a steak and biltong pizza with rocket and horseradish. It's unbelievable. So the inspiration for this very naughty pizza comes from when a friend of mine gave me some biltong. He makes this Wagyu biltong, which is just incredible. Very, very naughty. He said, can you come up with a pizza that uses this biltong? So I had a little brainstorm, and what I decided was what we could do is take the biltong, blend it into a biltong crumb, and then do a steak pizza, and then put the biltong crumb on at the end, and that just gives it even more of an intense kind of steak aftertaste, which is just something else. And then we're gonna pick up on a few notes to try and elevate the flavor combination. So we've got some blue cheese here. Blue cheese, steak, very logical combination. Horseradish, another awesome combination with steak. We've got some rocket, which is nice and peppery. So whenever you're coming up with these combinations, just think about flavor combinations. Which two ingredients work together? Can you take those two ingredients and pair them with two other ingredients? And then before you know it, you've got this kind of combination that sings, that really works together in unison. So I tried it out, gave it to a few friends, and they said it was pretty spot on. So I thought, let's do a video and share it with you guys. So let's get started. So what we'll do is we'll start by cooking the steak, and I've got the cast iron pan in the Revolve, and it's just coming up to temperature because I want that pan to be nice and hot. Then we're going to put in our ribeye, which is at room temperature. We're going to season the steak with a little bit of smoked sea salt, which again, it's just a Ponzi thing to add, but it does give a nice flavor. It's very smoky. So you're always thinking about how you can add little layers of flavor into your food. So let's just season our ribeye. And you know what? It's a bit of a rainy day today. Perfect day to be cooking a pizza, just to lift the spirits, make a really nice, warm, hearty, very rich and intense pizza that'll just lift the spirits. So here we go. I'm gonna take the cast iron pan out of the oven, and we can get our ribeye cooking. And it cooks really quickly. That's another good thing about, do you like my glove? That's another good thing about the Revolve is we can cook stuff like steak, stuff like lamb chops, pork chops, all different types of meats. You can cook them at a really high temperature and get a nice sear on them. And then obviously we'll finish it with a bit of butter, rosemary and garlic, just to give it some extra flavor. So you can see the cast iron pan is smoking hot. Okay, then we just take our steak and add a little bit of olive oil to it. Place it onto our cast iron pan, and that's what you want, that sizzle. Now, let's get it back in the Revolve, and let's watch that steak turn and cook nice and evenly. Just gonna take it out and turn it over. Have a look at this. See the color on that? That's just what we want. So that's about 4 minutes on one side, and now we put it back in. I told you this is naughty. Right, so for the last minute, we're gonna add our butter, our rosemary, and our garlic. So it's perfect. We've got three things going on at the same time. We've got the Revolve getting up to temperature. We've got the steak cooking nicely. And then when we remove the steak, while we make the pizza, the steak is resting. Then we cook the pizza, take it out, and top it with the steak. So in terms of a workflow, there's a really nice kind of logical way of cooking this pizza. So let's take it out. come on, look at that beautiful steak. Come have a look. Now we just add our garlic, our butter, and our rosemary. Then we're going to put that back in the Revolve just for another 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, right, this just needs another 30 seconds. Whoa. Right, let's put it back in the Revolve. Last little lick of heat, and then it's done. Right. Okay. Forget about your steak now. Let it rest. That should be a nice medium. And in the meantime, let's talk about this biltong. So this biltong is actually made of Wagyu beef. So you can see all the fat from the Wagyu. Still a little bit soft as well. It's not, you know, sometimes you get biltong that's a little bit too, or beef jerky, for example, that's really, really hard. This has still got a little bit of a chew, which is nice. Then we have our blue cheese and our horseradish. And so all I do is I take this biltong and I just get a blender. It's one of these small blenders, but you can use one of the big ones is fine. Just put it all in there. Cover it up, blitz it for about 30 seconds, and what you get is the most amazing biltong crumb. Come and have a look at this. All right, and that's basically it. So we've got our biltong crumb, which we put on at the end. I think we're ready to stretch our pizza, so I'm gonna go get the dough, and then we can get cooking. Okay, so let's take our biga, and let's make ourselves a beautiful steak pizza for lunch. Okay, so with the stretching, just make sure you've got enough simola, and we push with our fingertips once, we turn it over, one more time, and one more time, and then stretch. So pull, turn, down. Pull, turn, down. If you find this technique a little bit hard to master, it can take a few months of solid pizza making to get used to this technique. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just use the back of the knuckles. So what you do is you roll your hands like this, pick up the pizza, and just very gently turn the pizza. And as you walk your hands around the pizza, it stretches. The reason I don't like to do this method is that sometimes it puts a little bit too much stress on the center of the pizza, but it is still a pretty good method and it will get your pizza nicely stretched. So find the method that works for you. So watch, just walk your hands around the pizza until you've got a nicely stretched dough. Okay, nice and easy. So this one starts with our San Marzano tomatoes. San Marzano tomatoes all on the pizza. Use the back of the spoon and move the tomatoes around your base. God. My friends were texting me afterwards, like, oh my God, best pizza ever eaten. And I thought, you know what, let's do this video just for you guys. Make sure that everybody learns this pizza. So a little bit of Parmesan onto the tomatoes. Then just a little bit of mozzarella cheese. To be honest, the cheese is not the star of the show here. It just adds a little bit of base flavor. So we just put a little bit of Fior di Latte mozzarella, cow milk mozzarella. Just place that all around. Then we're going to take our blue cheese. to your own personal flavor. It's obviously quite a strong flavor, but this combination can take the kind of strength that we're talking about here because of the raw horseradish, because of the steak. It can handle the stench. So don't worry, you can use quite a bit of blue cheese. Okay, a little bit of olive oil. Lift up your pizza and push it onto the peel. With your hands, go underneath the pizza and pull out. Lift up the pizza and pull out. Right. Okay. Now the fun happens. A little bit of rocket now is going to go on. Let's cut our steak first. So, have a look at the steak. Steak has been resting now while we made the pizza. We mustn't lose those juices. Those juices we'll put on at the end. Let's have a look. Not sure why I put it in that bowl just then. Got a nice crust on the steak. Let's have a look. Go nice little medium cook on that. You could probably have it a little bit less than that, but not too bad. Okay, we're going to take our rocket here. Let's just take some of the long stalks off because we don't want all those stalks. Okay, just dress the rocket in a little bit of olive oil. Okay, now we place our rocket all around the pizza. And now it's about little flavor bombs, right? So here's our horseradish, the star of the show, the unsung hero. Take your horseradish and just put confident dots of horseradish. Use your pinky and just push it off the spoon. And really be quite confident with your horseradish because that is going to sing, that is going to work with the peppery rocket. The stank on the blue cheese. I use the word stank. And the steak, it's just going to be a really nice combo. So, okay, now we have our horseradish on. We can go on with our steak. So take your slices of steak and just go. And just think about the fact that you're slicing this into pizza slices, right? So everybody wants a piece of steak. So depending on how many slices of pizza you're going to cut, put that many slices of steak. You can just put it like that all the way around your pizza. Let's get a little bit of that steak juice. Can't waste that juice, and just put the steak juice all over your steak just to make sure it doesn't dry out. That is all liquid gold, all that butter, garlic. Okay, and then the whole inspiration behind the whole pizza are biltong crumb. Nice and generous. Take your crumb and go all the way around with the biltong crumb. And just think of all the flavor that that is bringing. That's like, oh, I don't want to use the U word, but it's an umami bomb. There we go. Okay, so just think about all the flavor that that biltong is going to give to the pizza. It's just going to add all this depth of flavor. You think how long the biltong has been drying with all those spices and herbs. There is, let's just kiss it with a little bit of olive oil, our very naughty steak, biltong, blue cheese, and horseradish pizza. That's a mean pizza. Prego.